So now what we're going to deal with is somebody locking their legs. Okay? It doesn't have to be a physical lock sometimes, come back. It could even just be somewhere where it's tucked under my bum. So I have no possibility of doing any of the movements that we just discussed. Okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is just try to do some leg work in order to get into the position that we're already familiar with. So this is hard to do. I'm not able to get any of that movement going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my opposite foot and start to push that out. Okay? Again, this may not always happen. Okay? There are times where it won't happen. Okay? So I can always use my opposite foot. So my left to his left, start to push out, make space for myself. Okay? Notice that how my hips are moving to the side and coming. It's really important. Okay? Similarly, I could go right foot on right foot, hide, and come back to this position. As soon as I come here, I do the same stuff that we've already discussed. Okay? The strategy will be the same if he's usually when they have locked legs, go back out, posture, try to get locked legs. You see how you have to put your hand on the mat. Almost always. There's no way that you're going to get locked legs or even this tucked position. Just keep it tucked. Right? The minute I move and I start to do this, his hand will go. Almost always. There's no real you don't have to bump in this case. Okay? So when you feel he's really tucked, I just start to get onto my side, his hands are going to be on the mat, and then I start. Okay? So just the leg work by sliding the hip on the mat. Okay, this is called a sliding shrimp. When his legs are locked, my hips come in. There's no way that I can do any of those serpentine movements, let alone even get onto the side. Because when I get onto my side, his foot is still stuck underneath. Yeah. So I'm never going to get to that space. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, his head is going to be right in line with my head. Our body center line will be aligned. That's one of the characteristics of Mount. And he's also on my hip. Okay? So he's using my hip as one of the bases of support. Because he sat on it. Yeah. Right? And his knees are going to be somewhere here. So the first movement that I'm going to do is a small little bridge that I hit and I go into this position. Okay. What this is going to do is it's going to move his head and thereby his center of gravity as well, because center of gravity is going to be on his center line. His head moves towards the side. And I'm going to start inverting my knee towards the mat. So you see how my knee is kind of pointed downwards now. Okay? I get here. Now, from here, I'm going to hit a shrimp by lifting my hip up and falling. I pull my knee to my chest. Okay? So you have to master this movement. Okay? So first, side bridge. Okay, see I'm kind of reaching over and bridging. From there, I'm going to use this bottom leg to kind of just propel my hip upwards. My knee will now slip through the space and come here. Which space we'll discuss in a second. So let's just do this movement first. Watch how there's no way that this, keep it tight enough. This stuff is probably not going to work. Okay? His body center line is aligned with mine. First is the bridge. See how his body center line moved away now. Okay, so now his center of gravity has been moved to the side. All his weight is on this knee and this arm. Can you get out of it?
Yeah, get out.
Yeah. Not without giving me adversity. You see, because now you gave me so much space that I can make more. Not without doing that, right? So, same thing, tight. Start to keep him on a side. Okay? Now, from here, my knee is no more going to go under his foot. I need to look for the crook of his knee. So from here, I start to invert so that the crook of my knee comes through. I mean, my knee comes through the crook of his knee. And we end up here. We end up with a dilemma. Usually what will happen is people start backing away. As he starts backing away,
Or you go for the leg in back.
Exactly. That's the next. So that's the dilemma that we're going to create. He stays there. We do the same thing we did before. Off balance him with a cross armpit post. If you had a cross face, that would be the case. I get to single leg X or well the butterfly.
That's how PK got subbed, right?
Sorry?
That's how PK got subbed, right?
PK actually got subbed in a slightly different move.
Oh.
Aman did a kipping escape. That is a similar situation. That's more when they have a crossface, but it doesn't really matter. So what will happen is from here, they'll start to lift like this. Then I have this. Right, so slightly different escape, same principle though. Right? You're still trying to get that one knee through. It's just done in a slightly different manner. We go here and we start kipping. Instead here we're going first to the bridge and it's getting it.
So yeah, I think we'll focus on the first one. I had some questions about the second one. Because I think you showed me that once.
Probably I vaguely remember showing it to you.
But like it was just like...
Just a one-off thing.
Yeah, it'd be like, hey, it's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But